Hello, everyone, and welcome to everyone who is watching the recording. Thank you so much for joining us, and to everyone jumping in live. We're so happy to have you. We're going to allow a few minutes here at the beginning to make sure everyone is here and settled, and in the meantime, I'll give us an introduction. So I'm so honored to be here with Deepti Pandey today, who is a total Workday expert and has so much experience with both how the platform works for users and the best ways to test, and the best ways to test with no-code AI-enabled test automation. So a big thank you to her for her time, and we're so excited to learn from you today. I'm Isabel. I'm Content Marketing Manager here at Opkey, and today we're going to be talking about the 2024 R2 release, which is one of Workday's biannual releases and a very important and potentially game-changing addition and upgrade of your Workday environment. So a little background, we take a lot of time here at Opkey to go through the release notes and information provided by Workday itself to compile an advisory document on this release, on what's changing, and on how to properly test and prepare for these changes. Nobody obviously wants to experience any sort of downtime, any sort of disruption, or any sort of problem. Instead, we want to take advantage of new features as quickly as possible. If you're not familiar with Opkey, we are an AI-enabled no-code test automation platform for a variety of ERPs and packaged apps, including Oracle, Salesforce, Workday, Coupa, and beyond. And we're really all about taking the burden of testing off of your plate and freeing up your team to do the work that matters. So a few housekeeping things. If you have questions, please go ahead and drop them in the function at the bottom of your screen. There will be a Q&A section at the end as well, as followed by a demo. I really encourage you to reach out to our sales team, sales@opkey.com, or go to www.opkey.com for a wide variety of information beyond just this release. We will also be emailing out a copy of our advisory to everyone here in case you want to learn more, and a recording of the webinar in case you feel like you miss anything. So without any further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Deepti.
Thank you very much, Isabel. Firstly, thanks a lot for your kind words. I think it is an absolute pleasure to represent Opkey here in this forum. So thanks for that. Folks, thank you very much for joining. I will, without any further introduction about Opkey, because I will be taking you through the platform anyways, I'll just jump into it. So let's just move to the next slide as well. All right, guys. So what I'm going to do is a very quick overview of the agenda for today. Just very quickly take you through the release schedule for R2. So we are already a week and a half, actually 2 weeks into it. Then examples of expected changes. Now, Workday, whoever, if you guys have been working with Workday, and in Workday, you know that biannual releases are the functional releases, and they have like over 400, 500 functional features, the feature releases, and they have over 500 features this release as well. So we've just picked a few examples to give you a flavor of what these changes are. Then best practices for testing. I'll take you through what we do here at Opkey in terms of best practices, hoping that it'll be of help to you all. Then obviously I'll take you through how where Opkey fits into the landscape and how can we help. Instead of case study, I thought I will give you a demo. So in this case, I will take you through impact analysis on our platform, and then we'll have a Q&A session. So moving on to the next one, guys, very quickly, the weeklies, as you know, Workday has the weekly service updates as well. So from Friday to Sunday, anywhere between this week and they do the weekly updates. The weekly updates are not new feature always, because they save the big bang feature releases for the biannual releases. Feature releases, as I said, are the big months, March and September. February next year is when the testing phase for the R1 of 2025 starts. And here, 21st of September is when they are going to productionize the whole features. So that's pretty much the schedule for releases. Weekly and biannually are the two key releases. So this time, 17th of August is when the testing phase of this R2 started. That's why I said we are good 2 weeks into it. And 21st of September is when they are going to productionize. All right. So guys, as I said, Workday has introduced 500 and over 500 features in this release. So we will start with HCM. HCM primarily always is where the biggest chunk of the features lie. Just because Workday is an ace in HCM, and it's a very, very widely used module of Workday. So a couple of changes I would like to highlight are, and then again, they're very, very, very small portion of the overall landscape. But in this release, what Workday has done is they have enhanced the job profile setup data. And what they have done is they have added effective date to a lot of fields consistently on the job profile. So people who use customer tools, like most of us, we know that the best way to get data for Workday is customer reports, and we use it every single day. Effective dated fields are a huge, huge benefit. So now that across job profile, a lot of fields are effective dated, most of the fields are effective dated. It gives us a lot of a good opportunity to use the wider set of data in our customer reports. So that's a huge, huge advantage. The second one is you can update the job profile user interface. They have updated the job profile user interface, and they have enhanced several job profile feeds. So huge change. The two key in this landscape HCM, the two key features where a lot of UI changes have happened are the job profile and change job. So change job again is a huge. It's not mentioned here, but we've been testing it. So for change job, a lot of UI changes have happened, and you will be seeing them just like the job profile interface as well. Third thing, which is very, very handy, as small as it sounds, it's a great, great value add. It's the real-time validation of an address upon entry. So when you are entering an address, Workday has introduced a real-time validation. On top of it, what Workday has also done is it will start giving you the prompts if the address is invalid. So it will immediately say the address isn't found. And to take it a notch further, it will start to suggest. So based on the incorrect address, if someone has entered, it will start to suggest, do you mean to do this? Do you mean to put in this? So the cleanliness of data is something which is a huge, huge issue in a lot of ERP systems. With this feature, that part, that headache, that pain has been taken care of. So real time, the data is being validated as you are entering. Now, the next part from HCM perspective is they redesigned the search for a person on the hired employee task. So just like I said for the job profile and change job, the search for person on the hired employee task has been redesigned as well. So a few of the changes, but HCM continues to be the sort of the biggest functional area where changes have been introduced. Now, I will be talking through the advisory as well, but if you will have a look at our advisory, again, no, we will be covering 500 sort of functional areas, but a lot of the key ones, at least the ones which we see being used very frequently by the clients, are being very thoroughly covered in our advisory notes with the complete and detailed analysis of what the impact is and so on and so forth. So if you haven't had a chance to look at it, by all means, please go ahead and help yourself there. Right, let me just move forward, and Zoom is not being my friend at all today. Right. Now, coming to the next one, again, within HCM, not core, but the HCM itself, I will be talking about a few more functional areas, modules, benefits. what Workday has done is, as part of this release, they have introduced a connector, a new benefit connector. And what this connector does is, if your benefit provider is one of the approved or registered benefit provider, you would be able to use this connector to load, to send and receive the data from that external benefit provider. So again, great value add, because a lot of people have been complaining, my benefit provider is not coming up, so and so forth. So that this change looks after it. Now, talent, something I would like to, I've personally experienced, because we are now doing the R2 cycle. So these two changes we have personally experienced and updated our client suites. Employee reviews started field on the view. So talent and learning are sort of a bit of an overlap. For talent, when the employee reviews start, they've introduced a field within the talent module. So when the review of an employee, the performance review of an employee starts, the manager would know and can see that the employee review has started. The other one is employee review template report. Now, this is the one which is really handy. What it does is that for the managers, they can extract the report and they would know immediately what learnings are due and overdue for within their team. So some of our clients, in fact, most of our clients, especially in the financial area, when the mandatory learnings are missed, people have huge repercussions in terms of their KPIs not being met or bonuses not being met. So this report, and their managers get impacted as well. So this report is a great value add where managers can keep an eye and track on what are the outstanding learnings for all the people within their team. So again, a great value add. Now, learning is again something which quite a few features, as I've noticed, have been released as part of R2. So just to name a few, a new assignment tab on the administrative view of learning content. So there is a new tab which has been introduced, and you can very loud and clear see it. One thing I would personally like, and people have been complaining about it, is one training used to have only one assessor, whereas now you can assign multiple assessors to a single learning enrollment internally. So you can see it. You can see it in your previous preview tenants. It's there, and it's a great value add. Then new My Team's Learning Assignment Standard Report, just touching upon what I said before. The managers can see what their team's assignment is, and help and just sort of call out if there is any learning overdue or about to be expired. Just move on. Now, that was HCM. Moving on to the bigger one. The another key area, financials and SCM. So financials, the two key things which we have seen the impact on, and again, two of the many is export high volume journal lines. So Workday has improved the performance, and now the high volume of journal lines can be exported much quicker and faster pace. And another one of my personal favorite is it displays validation for currency amounts and conversion rates to indicate an error. So the key here is that, and again, it overlaps with the SCM as well, a bit of this feature within procurement, where the currency of the amount is being looked after. So one of the key things, two pain points have always been the conversions. Various countries, various currencies, the conversions, and the other one is if my company has a global presence and I'm seeing the procurement document of America in Australia, then that currency, the whole amount conversion is being looked after, especially in procurement area, automatically by Workday, which is a huge convenience. So in terms of currency amounts, same flavor, different functional areas, but a huge value add for the end user. So this is a quick touch upon our some very few of the key areas and changes. Now, as I said, we have our advisory document for R2 release. Very elaborate. Again, in no way it will be covering 500 odd features, but the key ones which we have seen and which we see are being widely used by clients, we have highlighted and added and have included enough details about those changes. So please feel free to get your hands on it and see if it helps you. All right, guys, I am not going to be telling you guys something which has never been heard before or seen before when it comes to the feature release testing, but just reiterating some of the obvious things. So, what are the best practices for testing Workday? A very good thing about Workday is that it's not like you have 4 days to do everything. You have 2 weeks to do everything, unlike some of the major ERP providers. Workday gives you ample time to prepare, to test, and be ready for the changes. So, prepare test environment is the first thing. As I said, for 21st of September release, 17th of August is when everything gets deployed in your tenant for testing. And 4 weeks before that, Workday starts publishing all the release notes. So you can very well start analyzing, start preparing what you want to do and what you want to test. Then the second thing is obviously determine the key business users availability. So you will have a 5 weeks of window to test, to start analyzing the change and have the business users aligned who will be testing it is a great sort of tool which you can equip yourself with. So those 5 weeks of windows are correctly utilized. Or you can have whoever your test provider is. Like here at Opkey, we assist all our customers to do this. So yeah, but that preparation is the key. Now, security user list, very important. Obviously, with the patches, there are security changes in every patch. The key is that you need to know what are the changes and what are the users which will be impacted with those changes. Further, to test all the functional changes, you need to have the updated security list. So say, for example, in hire, if you have a HR partner and you have added another role, compensation partner, which is involved while hiring the user, you just need to make sure that your business has that list handy so that they can test that role, they can test the actions appropriately. Then in terms of integration, inbound and outbound transactions and prepare data mapping post-release, again, a very important aspect of it. Upgrade the testing checklist with prioritized test scenarios. As I said, it's a big feature release. Most of the Workday biannual feature releases are 400 plus features. So exhaustive testing is never possible. It always is which features are important and have high risk for you. So have that prioritized set of testing ready. And then automated change impact assessment, which I will be showing you how we do it in Opkey. But that is a good tool to equip yourself with. It also highlights the risk well in advance, telling you, hey, these are the changes, these are the key processes which will be impacted. Now, just a brief about Opkey. We are Opkey as initially when we started, Isabel gave a quick introduction. We are an AI-powered Workday accelerator. So Workday accelerator is one part of our offering. We have what we call discovery, where we auto-discover your business processes, auto-discover your configurations for various business processes, generate data for you, minimizing the dependency on your business. Then we have we've certified many enterprises on Workday updates. So as I said, we are doing this patch, what we call R2 testing for our clients as we speak. And depending on how many modules they have, the time will vary. But for customers with one modules and not a crazy amount of integrations, we can typically certify them within 3 to 5 business days because of our automated platform. So that's a huge value add to which are the value which our clients realize. Few of the things, as I said, we have a process mining enabled continuous automation where we mine your processes. Then self-configured engine, because we have the capability to mine your configurations, and then the real-time impact and risk analysis. Now, based on what I took you through in terms of preparing yourself for the Workday release, I just want to highlight where we fit into the picture and where we can help. So the first and foremost is being the partners of Workday. As and when the release notes start to pour in what's coming new in this feature, those sections start to fill up. Our panel of functional consultants get on top of it and they start analyzing it. It requires a lot of detailed analysis to come up with out of 500, what are 100 odd, because we circulate them to our customers as well. So our clients will have finance, HCM, adaptive planning implemented based on the modules which clients and customers have. We do the analysis and we start sending them notes to say, hey, these are the changes which are upcoming, which are pertinent and which are relevant to your implementation of Workday. Further to this, we have advisory, which is, as I said before, a glimpse of or a good chunk of features taken. We take you through the details of those features. Day one, we do the impact analysis for our quarterly, biannually updates in this case. And we show you, all right, upfront, these are the changes which have happened. Then we update the certification within 3 business days, yes, but then it also varies on how many modules the clients have and how many integrations they have. Integrations are something which always take time when it comes to testing. Then autonomous data preparation, and that feeds into the test scripts, as I said before. And if you've attended any of our webinars, we have taken you through it briefly, but we will be holding another one where we will take you through this whole complete process in depth of how we do the auto discovery and auto config analysis in a week or two to come. Optimal test coverage and security report validation results. So test coverage, as I said, I'll give you a bit of a flavor of what we do when it comes to test coverage. Security and report validation, again, very important thing. Everyone knows here that when it comes to security, the SODs, I don't need to emphasize the importance of it. So we have detailed SOD comparisons and test it as part of our biannual releases for our customers. And then most importantly, one of the aspects of our important offering is we have a pre-built accelerator which facilitates us to do very quick onboarding and the certifications for our customers when it comes to the releases. All right, guys, some of the business benefits here. We have quick blueprint of tested process and at-risk areas. So because we run the impact analysis report, you will see upfront what is impact and have the risk analyzed based on that. Then generate ideal test cases across business processes, which as I said, we have a process mining and data mining enabled platform, which facilitates that. Then autonomous self-configured test data combinations and scenarios. Based on our config mining capability, we come up with the various paths in any business process your application need to traverse, and then what are the various data combinations to cover those paths. Now, customers are increasing their test coverage by 70%, if not more, purely because when you are testing something manually, you tend to test what is the most risky or important data combination leaving the risk on the table for the other data combinations. That's a great value add when it comes to automation. Then they are reducing their defect leakage by 90% purely because now all those less traversed path and less used data combinations are being tested as well very quickly with our automation. So the defects which get leaked in production are being reduced substantially. And process efficiency analytics focused on the coverage and gaps, which I will be taking you through, um, again, is a key feature and business benefit which our clients realize. All right, guys, I'll very quickly give you a flavor of what I meant when I said discovery. So within Opkey, when we discover your tenant, what we do is we discover all the business processes which are deployed in your tenant automatically. We don't rely on the business to tell us these are the modules. Within these modules, these are the tasks and these are the business processes. We have the capability to do auto mine them. On top of it, once we have mined the business processes, all the various combinations of the business process definitions. So as you can see here within hire, in my tenant, I have good 7-8 definitions of hire. We analyze them automatically, and based on this, we come up with what we call a test model. And the test model, what it does is for every, let me just choose a definition here. What it does is based on the definition selected, it makes sure that it comes up with the test scenarios which ensure that all the paths are covered. So this is where I touched upon and I said that we increase the coverage. This is what I meant. In addition to this, guys, what I would like to also highlight is the auto config mining part. So for every business process definition, we have this capability where we go into your tenant and we mine that with every process, what are the key fields which are required, and for every field, what are the configured values in your tenant behind that. So this tenant I'm sharing Opkey platform with you. This is on our tenant, and obviously we tested it as well. So we have like a big data load here. But as you can see, say period type ID, we immediately know that within your tenant, these are the values configured for this dropdown. Now, what this does is that this helps us to come up with the various data combinations. So say, for example, if your business, 70% of your workforce is, it works on a salaried structure, business will be emphasizing on testing this, which is rightly so. So that's where Opkey comes into play for daily, for hourly, for exception hourly. All these various combinations we tested for you. Now, let me take you through the impact. So guys, this is what we call impact analysis is. At this stage, what we do is we assess the impact based on these three key things. What are the impacts in business processes? What are the impacts in custom objects within your tenant? What are the impacts in integration? So we have also since, as we speak, we have also deployed, we do the SODs and security testing, but what we have done is we have now introduced it here as well. So come next week, we have a production release after which two key things will start to appear here. One will be the security matrix. So as I said that when I was taking you guys through the presentation, I said you need to know the key security roles and the business uses. This matrix here would help you. And the other is the field dependency. So one of the key things that happens is if a field gets deprecated as part of a biannual release or new field is introduced, custom reports are where customers take the most hit. And we see on a regular basis that the reports fail. So we have introduced what we call an all field dependency. So all the fields which are either Workday delivered or calculated fields, we tell you that, hey, these are the custom reports where these fields are used, and these are the business process definitions where these fields are used. So this will then again empower you and enable you to assess the risk. So for today, I will take you through how we analyze the impact when business process changes, for example. So for the purpose of this demo, what we've done is we have introduced, as I showed you before, we have over 7 or 8 higher business process definitions. I have introduced change into the 4 definitions at various levels. For some, I have changed the approval hierarchy. For some, I have introduced a custom object, so on and so forth. And I'll show you how Opkey sort of highlights it up front. So you come here, it will tell you, hey, for hire, things have changed. All right, you click on it, it will tell you these 4 definitions are out of the 8 which you have are the impacted. Fine, click on it. It will start to show you the details. So it's now showing you here for this particular definition, these are the changes. For IT help desk, we have introduced an additional data, which is nothing but a custom object. And we have also introduced the group for this is going to be HR administrator. It is not an optional step. And the order for this is R. The sequencing of this is ABC in your scheme of things. So this is all the information which we have gathered for you, giving you at a glimpse, saying these are the changes at this level. I'll take another example here where the security roles have changed. So your approval hierarchies have changed. It's saying that for order H, the task was change organization assignment. Previously, it was HR partner, and now it's HR administrator. So any change in the approval hierarchy is highlighted here as well. Any change in the whole workflow, if you have added anything new, if you have deleted anything, if you've reshuffled anything, we highlight it here. So that's where the order comes into play as well. So we run this report for our customers before testing starts. And as I said, for security, for custom objects, for integrations, we give them a sense of the change that's coming. Now, what it does is, guys, the next step of this is self-heal, right? Once these changes are being approved, they say, yes, all these changes are being approved. Update your test cases. We click on self-heal. And what it does is the automated test case for this particular business process definition gets updated automatically on a button click. You run it and it runs seamlessly. Now, not to mention that integrations are something where we need some intervention in terms of updating the automated test cases, but a big bulk of Workday delivered definitions, they are being looked after automatically just by the self-heal button. So this is at a very high level how impact analysis looks like. Again, I've just given you a glimpse of it. In the coming week or two, we will have another webinar purely to talk about this, where I'll take you through all these options and the new ones which we are introducing. But I hope it has given you a flavor and an idea of how we do it here at Opkey. Right. So that's what I wanted to cover here. I will just take a pause and minute for any questions we might have.
Sure. Let's jump in. So this is the chance to pop your questions in the Q&A function if you have any. We have a question. Can you talk a little bit about the onboarding process? What does that look like?
Oh, great question. Thanks, Isabel. So, guys, as I said before, with our discovery, when we actually go to the client, the very first thing we do is discovery. We discover your tenant, and once there are few credentials which we require. We will require an ISU and few generic security groups to be added to it. We take the screenshot, and once we say discover business process, what it does is it finds out all the business processes which are deployed within your tenant. Once we know, we then take the whole thing, we take the snapshot, onboard the client based on the scope of business process definitions and the modules. So typically, depending on the modules and the integrations, it can take anywhere between a week or 2 to 4 weeks, depending on how many integrations you have. But the whole idea is that we have a minimal dependency on your business analysts and on your business to tell us what we need. We have the auto discovery, auto find us if you like, so that we're not interrupting your business and you guys as often. Integrations is something definitely we need a bit of an understanding of from business, but other than that, yes, it's quite sort of self-served, if you like.
Absolutely.
I hope that answers
It's
it.
very hands-on as well. There's a lot of customer support and training involved. Another question, can you talk a little more about Wilfred and AI? Is it just for test cases or more things too?
Absolutely. So Wilfred, I think the best way to think of Wilfred is it's a chat GPT for Opkey, right? So guys, all the things you see here, you see the QLM, which is our quality lifecycle management tool, a complete ERP configured tool for you, project planner for you. We have our observability. Everything that you see here, rather than fluffing around and seeing, oh, what to do, where to go, Wilfred is your chat GPT for it. So you can ask absolutely anything. It will start giving you pointers. It will start taking you onto those screens if you're new to Opkey. And all things Opkey, how do I do impact analysis? Hey, Wilfred, take me to discovery. Show me a tutorial of how to do a discovery. It takes you there. It takes you through it. And in not months, weeks to come, we are empowering Wilfred substantially. So we will have again another webinar just to talk about the capabilities of Wilfred, because Opkey is heavily invested in AI, and you will be seeing some major changes and upgrades to Wilfred in its existing form. But in its existing form, Wilfred is pretty handy and quite powerful to take you through most of the key features of Opkey.
Absolutely. And we have time for one more question. Can you talk a little about weekly updates as well? Is there a lot of testing involved there?
Absolutely. So guys, I'll tell you firstly what happens when we go to a client and we just have a brief check. Mostly on the Mondays, most of the businesses, the business people, the key business people, your product owners, your key stakeholders in the HR system of any company are involved only to check that the weekly releases haven't broken anything. So what we do is come Sunday, just I think 9 a.m. Pacific or Central, we is by when we see Workday tenant comes up, stable with all the changes, and we have what we call a sanity suite. So once we onboard a client, we come up with a sanity suite based on the modules, based on the risks, based on the key areas, and the sanity suites keep on getting updated based on the coverage, changes, the features, but we keep a sanity suite handy. Every Sunday, we auto trigger a sanity suite. So this impact report, which I showed you, we have what we call a scheduled impact, auto impact. Most of the clients do it weekends, but some do it twice a week as well. So we have the impact run automatically, auto snapshots, and the Sanity Suite kicks off on Sundays. So by Sunday, you have a 70-80% of an idea of which business processes are working and where a change is impacted. So running continuously that Sanity Suite and impact is what helps our customers have a complete peace of mind to say on the weekends, yes, their business doesn't have to worry about or spend the whole Monday testing things. There's someone in the background, Opkey in the background, looking after things for them over the weekend. So yeah, that's our typical sort of way of testing the weekly releases. We have a Sanity Suite defined for every customer.
Thank you so much for laying that out, Deepti. And I know that's a pretty special offering. Not a lot of test automation providers allow that level of detail and control. So that's all we have time for today, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. It's truly a pleasure to come together with you and really join in to help you get the most out of your workday, since it is supposed to help your business and not be too much of a burden. Thank you again, Deepti, and we hope to see you guys again.
Thank you very much, all.